When was the last decent Ninja Turtles movie? Oh yeah, the first one back in 1990. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but ever since the first live-action Ninja Turtles film, they just haven't been up to the standard that the first one set. I think the reason for that is because they combined the comedy and the personalities from the cartoon with the more serious elements from the graphic novel. So ever since Out of the Shadows, Paramount said they're not planning on making a third Ninja Turtles film in this series. So for the next 3 videos, I'm going to be giving my version of a rebooted Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film trilogy. Starting off, we open with Donatello and Michelangelo setting up a new lair. Mikey is making sure that the TV systems are online, like he would, while Donatello is tinkering with the head of a Mouser robot. And yes, Baxter Stockman and his Mouser robots will be the first villain in the film, however the overarching villain of the trilogy will of course be Shredder. A noise is then heard as Leonardo and Raphael enter the lair with some surviving equipment from the old lair. Mikey then turns on the TV to see Dr. Baxter Stockman advertising these robots as to help the New York's rat problem along with April O'Neil, who works for Baxter Stockman in this universe like she did in the original comics. Now Raphael at this point is super pissed as the Mousers were responsible for the destruction of their old lair. He wants to go up and cause Baxter trouble, but Master Splinter forbids them from leaving. However, Donnie does manage to get a Mouser working and they can trace them back to its source. Meanwhile, in Stockman's lab, April sees an unusual logo on a computer, which the audience will recognize as the logo of the Foot Clan, and pushes the computer icon revealing a secret elevator. She then rides the elevator to a secret floor with hundreds of Mouser robots housing some recently stolen items. Baxter sees her there, fires her, and sets the Mousers on her. The Mousers chase her down into the sewer and trap her in a corner, but she is saved by the Turtles. However, at the sight of Mikey, she passes out. When she wakes up, she's in the Turtles' lair surrounded by them. She freaks out, and at the sight of Splinter, she passes out again. They eventually manage to calm her down when she wakes up, as Splinter explains their origin. Oh, just a quick side note, the Ooze portion of this origin story will draw inspiration from the 1987 cartoon, with Master Splinter being a mutated Hamato Yoshi, and then April agrees to help them take down Baxter. As the Turtles and April sneak into Baxter's building, she disables the security systems, because again, she works there, she would know her way around, as the Turtles head down to the Mouser levels. They successfully destroy all the robots, but Stockman gets taken away by 2 guys in black ninja outfits, and I think you know where we're going with this. As the Turtles head back to the lair to celebrate, a blackout happens, so Splinter sends them back up to investigate. Once on the surface, they notice a group of uniformed men breaking into a museum trying to steal an old-looking sword. As the Turtles engage, they realize they are fighting ninjas, known to them now as the Foot Soldiers. The Foot do manage to kick the Turtles' butts, surprisingly, and steal the sword, but Raphael does manage to tear the insignia from one of the uniforms. Back in the lair, Splinter tells them the true story that they haven't heard, how Hamato Yoshi came to New York. Now this section of the origin takes inspiration from the original graphic novel, where Shredder is Orokusaki, Oroku Nagi's younger brother, who was killed by Yoshi after Nagi attacked his wife Tang Shen. Shredder then killed Tang Shen and presumed Yoshi dead during the fire that started during their battle. Leonardo then decides that it's time they avenge Tang Shen and sends Raphael to Foot headquarters with a challenge for Shredder. Meanwhile, at Foot headquarters, Shredder is viciously sparring with some Foot soldiers when a ninja walks in with the sword they'd stolen from the museum, and Raphael's note, requesting a challenge with Yoshi's disciples that night. As the Turtles wait for Shredder on a nearby rooftop, Shredder arrives and gives a short, intimidating speech before sending a platoon of Foot soldiers on the Turtles, as they engage in a lengthy battle. After defeating the Foot soldiers, the Turtles take a moment to rest, but then Shredder drops down and fights them himself. With the Turtles being tired and some wounded, Shredder is obviously a skilled fighter, and he also manages to kick their shells with the aid of his stolen sword. But the Turtles eventually pull through enough for Leo to stab Saki through the torso. Leo offers Saki a chance to redeem his honor by taking his katana and committing seppuku, for those of you who don't know, which is Japanese ritual suicide. But Shredder downright refuses and pulls a thermal grenade on the Turtles, threatening to take him with them in death. Antonio responds by thrusting Shredder off the roof with his bow staff, and the grenade fumbles into a corner and they jump off the roof. The grenade explodes and Shredder is caught under the falling debris. The Turtles, who have watched Shredder's death from a nearby rooftop, mourn his loss, retrieve his sword, and run along the rooftops that night towards a pizza place. And that is where we end. So that is the story of my first film in my Ninja Turtles trilogy. If you'd like to let me know, next time is part 2. See you later.